Happy Sunday. Oh, messy environment. It works. Alright, how are we doing today? Welcome to Sunday morning yoga. Okay. Hello, happy Sunday. Welcome to Sunday morning yoga and meditation. We'll get started in like 4 minutes or so. My name's Samla, and I'll be leading us through in all levels. Here we go, practice. Here we go. Internet here. So, if there's anything in particular that you're working on or any body part that wants your attention or needs to stretch out or any pose that you've been working towards or anything like that, any requests, recommendations, or questions, just leave them in the chat and I'll do my best to answer them and incorporate what you're working on accordingly. Kyle Parker, hello, hello. Namaste, my friend. Welcome in, welcome in. How are you today? How's your weekend been? Kyle says, I trust the divine timing of the universe. I have boundless energy and an endless flow of creativity. Sounds like you're having a fabulous Sunday in that case. A fabulous life. Kyle always with the beautiful intentions and poetry. So what we'll do here is hey, RAF winner. Thank you. Happy Sunday. Hello. Guys, check out RAF winner. He streams Genshin and a slew of other games on here on Twitch. Definitely go check him out. Some fun streams. Okay. Kyle says, my weekend's been okay considering where my family's at. My babies are healthy and happy. Okay. Good. Well, that sounds positive. It sounds a little, I hope, considering where your family's at, I hope that the family is good, so that your babies are happy and healthy. That's all we can ask for these days, right? So, yeah. So what we'll do here is start with a seated meditation, and I'll lead you through that. Don't worry, you won't be left in space. And then we'll do some breath work, go into some movement with yoga poses that you're probably familiar with, some functional strength training and joint resiliency, maybe some stuff that's new to you, and again, some lymphatic shaking, more breath work, and end with a nice long shavasana, final relaxation pose. I'll play some singing bowls for you, and that'll be guided as well. So yeah, so it's a guided experience, so you don't have to have done any of this before to join along for any part that feels like it would be beneficial to you. What am I doing this weekend? This. No, I don't know. Weekends are kind of the same as weekdays for me, just because I work from home. So probably get some work done. I'm painting some national parks posters right now, and my godfather is getting a tattoo for his 60th birthday, so he wants me to draw it. I don't usually take tattoo commissions. It's not a commission, it's a gift. But I love him, so I don't even mention that I don't draw tattoos for him, because he has like this big dragon overlooking an Italian villa tattoo already that I drew for him like years ago. So yeah, that's what I'll probably be doing this weekend, painting Yosemite and a two-headed lion, and teaching you guys, practicing, not even teaching you guys really, but leading a yoga practice here. So that being said, let's get started. If there is anything that you guys want or need to practice, just put it in the comments, and I'll make sure that we add it in. Oh, thank you, Kyle. All right. I'm just gonna pause. Don't really need music for the meditation part. Actually, let's set up. So, what you'll need is just a yoga mat or a space to practice in. Like if you have carpet like this, you don't really need a yoga mat. Maybe even just putting out like a beach towel, just so you have kind of an idea of like the long side and the short side. That'll just make my cues easier. But to be honest, I practice without a mat all the time. But if you have one, let's roll one out. Of course, Lucy's right in my spot. Good morning, Mango. Lucy, say hi. And then I'm just gonna take a rolled up blanket or folded up blanket. If you have like a yoga block or something, or pillow, meditation pillow, that works too. And I just like sitting on it, sit on it with my hips and let my legs come off of it in front. What is up, M9 Easy? Great to have you. Happy weekend. Hey, Cool Sword. Okay, a Cool Sword. Good morning. Hi, Ben. Welcome in. Happy Sunday. We're just getting set up here. Let's see. Lucy has the most excitable tail. Yes, this is true. Yeah, she's very... It's nice because it feels like she's responding to you. Like have entire conversations with her. All right. Well, friends, it's so nice to see you all. All right, we're just getting started here. So I just like having my hips higher than my knees, and that doesn't work out if I'm just seated flat on the ground. And it's all good to use a pillow or a folded blanket or towel below us. How are you guys doing? M9 Easy, hey Cool Sword, Miss Mango. How's your weekend going? Like I've been looking forward to this practice because I've only been getting in like 5 or so minutes of actual yoga during the week. So it'll be nice to have a full practice. Other things you might need. Water. Like, not mandatory. Just nice to have. Alright, so we'll start seated up nice and tall. Even if you're in a chair, it's okay if you're not, if you don't have access to the ground or you're not able to get down there. Yes, M9 Easy, sure. I'm not blessed with that problem or that situation. Miss Bingo, great weekend is nice and easy. Good, I'm glad. Yeah, I've been taking it easy this weekend as well, this life as well. This summer, maybe. That's good to hear. Alright, so seated up nice and tall, imagine there's a string pulling you up from the crown of your head. Heart over hips, head over heart. Hands come to rest on the lap, either palms down to ground down or palms up to give and receive energy. Feel you got a little extra to give today. You can close your eyes if that's comfortable. If not, just a soft gaze towards the ground just beyond your legs is also appropriate. We'll start with 3 cleansing breaths. In through the nose, shoulders rise up towards the ears, and an audible sigh out the mouth, shoulders drop away. And allow the breath to continue at your natural pace, in and out through the nose if that's available. We'll take a moment here just to arrive. Let go of everything that came before and everything that's to come up after. And become present to yourself here in this moment. Here in this space. And begin to allow sounds into your awareness. Not searching for the sounds, just allow them to come to you. Just allowing all sounds in, all part of this moment, this experience. Feel the temperature of the air on your skin. Feel the weight where your body makes contact with the ground below you. Weight of your hands on your knees. Just get a general sense of how the body feels. Light or heavy. We'll begin to scan the body from head down towards toes. I'm just checking in for any spaces of tension or sensitivity, any restlessness or fidgeting. Making these observations without judgment, we'll use this information to inform how we move through our yoga practice later on. If the mind wanders, bring it back to the body, scanning down. Shifting that awareness from the body, Annamaya Kosha, to the breath and energetic level, Pranamaya Kosha. Notice where you're at energetically in this moment on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being exhausted, fatigued, ready to crawl into bed. 10 being so full of energy it's hard to sit still. And notice your breath. No need to change it, just observe inhalations, exhalations, whatever space in between. We'll shift the awareness up to Manomaya Kosha, the mind. Allow thoughts and feelings to arise naturally here. No need to direct traffic or comment on it. Just observe these thoughts from a distance. Notice, what are the quality of the thoughts today? Do they have a positive or negative tilt to them? Are they a long, drawn-out drama or sporadic fragments of ideas? Not right or wrong, not good or bad, just something to notice. And bring the attention back down to the breath. Here we're actively increasing the breath, allowing the breath to expand. Inhales, fill belly with air. Every inhale, sipping in a little more air. And every exhale, let something more go. Pulling belly button in towards spine, deflating. Inhales, fill belly and ribs. And exhales, release ribs, then belly. Inhale, fills belly, ribs, and chest with air. And exhale, releases chest, ribs, belly. Continuing like this, inhaling into belly, ribs, chest, and exhaling chest, ribs, belly. Ready, player one. Has it been a while or have I just not been on Twitch? Well, right now I'm teaching every Sunday at 8:30 a.m. Pacific. Before I was teaching every day, so yes. I think maybe just on Sunday mornings you haven't been on. Sammy Yogi, good morning. Good morning. Hi, love you. And hello, Swiss. Welcome in as well. So we're just working on our breath here. Great to see you guys. We're just inhaling belly, ribs, chest, exhaling chest, ribs, belly in our Dirga Pranayam, our 3-part breath. So this breath helps us calm the nervous system out of sympathetic fight or flight into parasympathetic rest and digest. We want full breaths, full exchange of air in the lungs. We can layer on our Ujjayi Pranayam here, our ocean sounding breath, by bringing a slight constriction to the back of the throat. So it's almost like you're trying to fog up a piece of glass or like a mirror right in front of your nose. So you can imagine if you had someone seated next to you, they'd be able to hear your breath. But somebody maybe 4 spots down couldn't hear you. When the mind wanders, just bring it back to the breath. In your next exhale, releasing that effort from the breath, returning to a natural breath's pace, perhaps a bit affected from that pranayama, from that breathing practice. We'll bring our hands to meet at heart center, palms pressed together in Anjali Mudra. Consider here setting an intention or a dedication for your practice, your reason for showing up to the mat today. The invitation is just to set it in the positive and affirmative tense, as if it's already happening. It might sound something like, I flow through life with ease and grace. And we'll seal that intention with the sound of Om, or perhaps a bark from Lucy. First, a cleansing breath. Allow your hands to release to your lap, chin drops towards chest, and on an inhale, right ear rolls over towards right shoulder. Exhaling, chin to chest, and left ear towards left shoulder. Just allowing the head to gently roll side to side here. Yes, I sail through life and over the waterfall with ease and some grace, says M9 Easy. Yeah, you know, sometimes you just gotta ride that wave. And sometimes that wave comes crashing down on you, so we just show up to yoga to kind of get comfortable with what's uncomfortable, or just practice moving through that discomfort with some grace and composure. Bring the head back through center, just roll the shoulders forward. So it's not really about pretending there's not a waterfall that we just fell over, right? Or got smacked in the head with a wave, but being present for it. You know, it's like challenging things happen. Sometimes we have the option to run away and avoid it. It's not for me to say if that's right or wrong or have any moral judgments on that. But there's other things that come up that we can't run away from, that we just have to endure or work through or puzzle out. Let's roll the shoulders back. And yoga's here to kind of help us practice for those moments when we do just have to face whatever challenging or upsetting thing is happening to us in life. So we're just opening up the upper back, area around the neck. Let's inhale, arms sweep up overhead, just reaching out of the waist like you're being pulled up towards the sky. And then right hand releases down, left arm reaches over on the exhale, just bending, side bending. Inhale up through center, and exhale over to the left. We'll follow the breath here. Inhaling through center, exhaling to the side, we're opening up the intercostal muscles, the space between the ribs. Just following your own breath here, connecting breath with movement. And uneasy in yoga supposes to help us walk on water sometimes. Well, that's definitely not a claim I'm going to make. I think it's just more about, well, maybe some people, but I think a lot of times we're told or expected to be patient or have good focus or be calm, but we don't really get taught how to do that. Let's see, next time we come over to the right, let's hold it here in this side bend. Maybe you can bend even deeper than you have been going, and bend the elbow, or even come down all the way onto the ground with the forearm. We're going to give some big back strokes here as we just continue to warm up the shoulders, the left shoulder in particular right here. Yeah, I don't think like yoga's about giving you like supernatural powers or even about getting into like crazy or like really impressive contortion, like circus performer level poses or anything like that. It's really just about navigating the normal mundane things a little better. Sweep it over to the other side. Left hand releases down. If you've still got space, maybe you bend the elbow, or you even come down all the way to the forearm. We're doing big back strokes here, just working into this right shoulder. When I say better, once again, I'm not talking morally good or bad. I'm talking like in a way that we'd like to show up in the world. So often we show up as impatient or distracted, or maybe even sometimes mean. And I don't think that that's how most of us want to treat one another or our work or our lives. But that's just like our reaction. And in yoga we get to practice our response. Bring it back up to center. I'm uneasy. Well, yoga def makes me feel more light and energetic. Good, I'm glad. Alright, so now if you're seated up on a block, blanket, or towel, you can just place it off to the side. Alright, inhale, arms sweep up overhead, and exhale, we'll twist it over to the right. Left hand lands on right knee, right hand lands on the ground behind you, and chest twist to the side. Inhale up through center, and exhale to the left. So we're still staying up nice and tall on the spine here. Back through center. Just waking the body up to this movement, to this twisting motion. It doesn't have to be a personal record on depth of the twist or anything like that. In fact, we don't want it to be. We just want it to be some nice, gentle twisting. Once more to each side. Exhaling to twist like you're wringing out a sponge. Inhaling back through center, stretching towards the sky. And last time we twist left. Back through center. Let's just bring the hands down, fingers interlace, forearms touch, and just rolling the wrists out here like you're making the figure eight. The figure eight. I was going to say the infinity symbol, but then also it's a figure eight. And yeah, okay, so we're going to change directions. Just a little wrist flossing. Any clicking or cracking, anything that shows up for you, we're just kind of noticing. It's all good. Just rolling with it, just like you're shaking off water. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's extend our legs out in front. we've been seated here cross-legged for quite a minute. Spread and scrunch the toes, roll out your ankles. Just waking up the lower legs here, change directions. So if you're finding that your legs are falling asleep, or that sitting in that cross-legged position is really uncomfortable for you, we're just building up that endurance. It's all good. It takes a while to build up the endurance to even sit like that. That's not how we sit at work usually or anything like that. Let's bend in the knees, feet come like mat's distance apart, nice and wide, and just drop the knees side to side. Just waking up the hips, just let the knees fall all the way down to the ground or towards the ground. So even just practicing stillness is part of the practice. It's not just about the movement. And next time the knees fall over to the right, we'll let them land there. There we go. Okay. Right hand comes behind the right hip, right on the ground. Left arm sweeps up. On an inhale and an exhale, cross the arm across the chest and reach back behind you. Inhale brings you forward, then lift the hips and the chest. Arm reaches back. Exhale, hips touch down and twist, reaching back behind you. Inhale sweeps you forward and up, lifting the hips, lifting the chest. Exhale, hips touch down, retwist. Just opening the whole front side body here. Last time, inhale, lifting hips and chest. Exhale, hips touch down, twist. The hand releases back behind you. We'll drop the knees over to the left. So just mindful that the knee doesn't land on top of the foot. We want it to land on the ground. Left hand in close to the body. Inhale, right arm sweeps up. Exhale, cross the arm in front of the chest. Reach back behind you. Inhale, sweeps you forward, hips lift, chest lifts, reaching back. Exhale, hips touch down and twist. Inhale, sweep it forward and up. Exhale, touch down and twist. Last time, sweep forward and up. Exhale, touch down and twist. Nice. Bring the hands behind you. Knees come to the right. Hands press down. We're coming into our tabletop pose. So, hands below shoulders, knees below hips. Spine is neutral. And an inhale, belly drops, hips and chest rise for cow pose. And exhaling, round in the spine, chin tucks in towards chest, pressing the ground away for cat. Following the breath. In for cow pose. Out for cat pose. Really making space between the shoulder blades, pressing the ground away. So here we're coordinating the breath and the body. The speed of the body is informed by the length of your breath. We'll bring it back to center in our tabletop pose. Ooh, gotta bring Chet closer. Always remember to pet your dog or other pet on the way. I feel like that's like a law. Like, there's like laws to having a pet. At least to having a dog. I've never had a cat, but like if they fall asleep on you, you're not allowed to wake them. And if your arm happens to brush by them, then you have to stop to pet them. That's like a rule. All right, let's send the right leg back behind you. So I'm just extending my leg straight back behind me as if I'm pressing my heel against that wall or that glass
sliding door in this case. Might roll out the ankle a bit. But then ultimately I'm pressing the heel back. I'm strong in the arms, pressing the ground away. And the left hand sweeps forward. Extended tabletop pose. So I'm really reaching with my left fingertips towards the front of the room, really pressing back through the heel. So this takes some like inner core muscles, so no worries if you have to reset. You're going to take a deep breath in, really reaching long. And the exhale, round in the spine like cat pose, lifting the belly out of the way. Elbow comes towards knee comes towards elbow. Inhale, reaching long, extended tabletop pose. Exhale, curl it in, rounding the spine, lifting the belly. Inhale, extend. And exhale, curl it in. So we're going nice and slow. So like you're moving through honey. Building this up, strong in the right arm. Okay, here we are in extended tabletop pose. Option here is to bend the right knee and backstroke, just like we did before with the left arm. Maybe you grab onto the foot. So if you don't reach, no worries. If you do, I'm just kicking the foot into the hand. So if you don't, and you're like, what do I do? Stay here in extended tabletop pose, and you'll be doing plenty of work there. So the foot, we're kicking the foot into the hand, which helps open up the left shoulder, bringing a bit of a twist to the spine. My chest is open towards the left long side of the mat. Breathing fully here. So the pose ends when the breath ends. So we keep the breath going nice and strong. One more breath here, whether you're here in this twisted, I don't know, reverse, I don't even know what this is called, or your extended tabletop pose. And then we'll gently release the hand from the foot, like pressing rewind back through extended tabletop. Hand releases down, knee releases down. Nice. Toes tuck under. Sit the hips back on the heels. My toes are tucked under here. I'm getting a nice foot stretch. And here we'll just shake out the shoulders, the wrists. Fingers interlace. Then they press away. Up towards the sky. And fingers release. Arms release down. Alright, let's even it out on the other side. Back to tabletop pose. So we always do what we do on one side on the other. We even it out. Left leg sweeps up and back behind you. Might roll out the ankle. It doesn't mean it's going to feel the same. In fact, it's like a great way to kind of take that diagnostic and see if your body is feeling parallel or symmetrical or not. And it's not even necessary that symmetry is the right way or the best way. It's just kind of what we're leaning towards. So we're pressing this heel back. Then the right arm reaches forward, fingertips reaching towards the front of the room. So the belly has to be a little bit zipped in here. So it's like a little bit of a tuck in the hips to activate those lower abs. For extended tabletop pose. I'm just mindful that this left shoulder hasn't sunk down. We're still strongly pressing the ground away. So if you think about our bodies internally, we're not symmetrical. Like we may have lungs on two sides, but the heart's not perfectly in between them. Our digestion organs, for sure, are not symmetrical on the inside. Alright, let's take a deep breath in, really reaching long here. And on the exhale, rounding in the spine like cat pose, knee comes towards elbow, elbow comes towards the knee. Inhale, extended tabletop pose, you're reaching for length. And exhale, curl it in, lifting the belly out of the way. Got one more like this. extended tabletop. And then even if on the other side you couldn't reach, it's still going to be worth it, I think, to try on this side. So bend on the left knee, and then like a backstroke, reach the right arm back. Maybe the hand grabs the foot on this side. If it doesn't stay in your extended tabletop pose, you'll still be gaining that strength. Taking the foot into the hand, pulls the right shoulder open. So the chest is slightly open towards the right long side of the mat. So even externally, we don't really treat our bodies symmetrically, right? You only drive with your right foot. If you drive a stick shift, you're also only shifting gears with your right hand. And we have other things that we tend to have a dominant or less dominant hand for. So we're still kicking strong, we're still breathing strong. Let's take another deep breath here. And then release really gently releasing the hand, like pressing rewind through extended tabletop pose. Hand releases down, knee releases down. Tuck the toes under, sit the hips back on the heels once more for that foot stretch, and sit it back. Okay. Shaking off water, shoulders a little shake, fingers interlace, press the palms away. Really pushing away. Bring the arms up overhead. And then fingers unlace, arms release. Down. Okay, let's bring the hands back forward. And we'll tuck the toes under and then send the hips up for our downward facing dog. So making a triangle with the body, the hips are pressing up and back behind you, heels are pressing down towards the ground, fingers spread wide, head heavy. But let's just, first downward dog of class, probably of the day, it is for me. So I'll just bend in one knee and then the other as we wake up the legs, wake up the body to this positioning. So just pedaling out the feet here, lifting one heel and then the other. Let my hips kind of go with it too. Head be heavy. And then lift both heels up nice and tall on tiptoes and then press the heels down towards the ground. Whether they touch or not is just fine. It's just the reaching towards the ground is part of the pose. And even once you get there, there's more to do. So if your heels easily hit the ground, what you can do is work on lifting your toes. There's always more. Anytime you think you've arrived in a yoga pose, it's like, cool, here's what's next. Always, like there's always. So letting the chest be heavy, letting the head be heavy. We'll inhale, the right leg sweeps up and back behind you. Just like before. We're like extended tabletop. We're reaching back. Now lift the foot towards the sky. Bend in the knee and stack the right hip over the left hip. Three-legged dog. So my heels pressing down towards my glutes. My knees pressing up towards the sky. Deep breath in here. And on the exhale, tiger's pose. Just like we practiced before. This time it's knee in towards nose. We're lifting the belly, rounding the spine like cat pose. Come up onto the tiptoes of the left foot. Shoulders come up over the wrists. And right foot steps up between the hands. Okay, it's okay if that just took you more than one step. No worries. We'll gently release the left knee down to the mat. Right knee's over left. Right knee's over right ankle. You can untuck the left toes. So, we'll press the top of the left foot into the ground, the shoelace part of the foot to the ground so hard that the knee lifts. And gently place it back down. Lifting, so now we're stretching the other side of the foot. So you're stretching the bottom before, and now we're stretching the toes in this direction. Still, we're breathing fully. Your hands are on the ground to support, no worries. And the next time the knee releases down, leave it there. And we'll bring the chest up over the hips. And use your hands to get you there. So it's called asana, our low lunge. Arms sweep up overhead. On the exhale, just relax the shoulders away from the ears. And a deep breath here. And out. Last breath in. Exhale, hands release down to the mat. Left toes tuck under. Lift the knee up off the mat. And step it up to the top. Big toes come to touch, a little space between the ankles. Inhale to a halfway lift, hands on shins. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale rolls you all the way up to stand. You can bring a little bend to the knees to protect the lower back. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift, hands on shins. Exhale, hands down to the ground. Right foot takes a giant step back. Left foot steps back to meet it. Plank pose. And straight line from the heels to the crown of the head, just like a push-up position. So I'm pressing back through the heels, pressing the ground away. Inhale, we shift onto the tiptoes, just bringing the shoulders a bit forward past the wrists. Exhale, elbows bend, they scrape against the rib cage. So we're making sure to keep the arms in towards the body. And then chin, knees, chest come all the way down to the ground. Let's just release all the way down onto the mat. Okay. Mouth, chin, or forehead come centered. Hands are below the shoulders. Squeeze the glutes, pressing the hips into the ground. Tops of the feet pressing to the ground so hard that the knees lift. And then inhale, baby cobra. So not using arm strength at all. We're just lifting head, chest, and shoulders up off the ground using my back strength. Exhale, we wave down. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, releasing down. Inhale, peeling away from the ground. Head, shoulders, chest. Exhale, releases down. And inhale, last time here. And then you'll know that you're not using your hand strength. We're just going to lift the hands. Reach them out like a plane to the sides like the letter T. And back behind you. As if your fingertips are going to reach your toes. So you're squeezing the shoulder blades together like there's a pencil between the shoulder blades you're holding. Breathing fully, even in the pressure, the gravity that's pulling you down, the weight on your belly. Just breathing deeply anyway, building that deep inner breath muscle strength. One more breath here. For a challenge, the arms come out to the sides and forward in front of you like Superman. And then we'll release it all the way down. Pressing the hands into the ground, come up through table. Big toes come to touch, knees come nice and wide, and hips release down towards the heels for our child's pose. Deep breath in through the nose, side out through the mouth. Another deep breath like that. Then palms press strong into the ground. Back through tabletop, press it up to downward facing dog. So we arrive here again. Find the distance that works for you. The feet are about a foot apart from one another. Fingers are spread wide. Head is heavy. Inhale, we'll lift up high onto the tiptoes. And exhaling, the heels press down towards the ground. Left leg sweeps back behind you, like extended tabletop. We're just pressing the heel towards the wall behind us. Then the foot can reach towards the sky, bend in the knee, stacking left hip over right hip, three-legged dog. So bending the knees so that the heels come in towards the glutes, knees pressing up towards the sky. Deep breath in here. Exhaling, tiger pose. The knee comes in towards the nose, rounding the spine. Lift the belly out of the way. Coming up onto the right tiptoes, we bring the shoulders up over the wrists, and left foot steps up between the hands. Once again, it's okay if it takes more than one step to get there. Just finding our way. Gently release the right knee to the mat, and check in that the left knee is over the left ankle. So not past it, not behind it, just above, perpendicular with the ground. Right toes untucked, and we'll press the shoelace part of the foot into the ground so hard that the knee lifts, gently releasing down. So my hands are here for support. I'm not dumping all the weight into the hands because we really want to use this movement of lifting and releasing the knee down to stretch out that front, this side, that front right thigh, as well as the ankle. So a couple more lifts here. Mindful that your foot's not rolling in, so we want to be stretching out the top of the foot, not the outside of the ankle. Nice, and we'll gently release that down and sweep the arms up, or using that knee as a step to come up to our Anjaneyasana low lunge. So you feel a deep stretch in the right hip here. Full breath in. And the exhale, shoulders melt away. So you can feel the arms up over the head bring even more weight into the hips. More of a stretch. Last deep breath here. And exhale, hands release down to the mat. Right toes tucked under. Then lift the knee up away from the ground and step it up to the top of the mat. Big toes come to touch, just a little space between the heels. Inhale to a halfway lift, hands on shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale rolls you all the way up to stand. Arms sweep up when you get there. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift, hands on shins. And exhale, hands down to the ground. Left foot takes a giant step back. Right foot steps back to meet it. Plank pose. Straight line from the heels to the crown of the head. And inhale, shift the weight forward onto the tiptoes. And exhale, lower down halfway, chaturanga. Then knees, chin, chest touch down, releasing all the way to the ground. That was an easy one, coming straight to the ground. So, from here, we'll bend in the knees and reach the arms back for Dhanurasana. So we're reaching back to grab the tops of the feet. Okay, say you can't reach both of your feet right now. You can bring the right forearm in front of you, just reaching the left arm back. We can do one at a time. That's one, and then you go to the other side. So same arm, same leg. For half Ardha Dhanurasana. Otherwise, with a nice grip on the feet, bring the knees towards touching. If they touch, great. If they don't, that's okay. They're just as close as they can go. Mouth, chin, or forehead come centered on the ground. Then, just like before, we're squeezing the glutes, pressing the hips into the ground, and we're going to lift chest, shoulders, head off the ground. And now feet kick into the hands, lifting the thighs even off the ground. So, lots of times poses like this, the they get made to seem like it's all about flexibility, but a lot of it is about strength. You need the strength in the legs to kick them up and back, helping to peel the body away from the ground. You need the strength in the diaphragm, in your deep breathing muscles to keep breathing throughout this pose. You might bring a rock to it, and that's okay. So here we are, we're just kicking as strong as you can, breathing as deep as you can. Shoulder blades are squeezed together, feet are kicking up and back. Just got one more deep breath here, you can do it. And gently releasing the thighs back down, the head and shoulders down. Release the feet without slingshotting them back. Just take a moment here, laying flat. Deep breath in through the nose. Side out. Give them bend in the knees, and windshield wiper them side to side, letting the hips go along for the ride. You can kind of feel like a nice little massage for the quadricep muscles, the front thigh muscles, as you roll over side to side. Then we'll release the feet down to the mat. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Press it up and back into our child's pose, just like before. Big toes come to touch. Space between the knees, send the hips back towards the heels, and just let yourself melt down. Forehead onto the mat if it reaches. Deep breath in here. Side out. Another breath like that. And hands pressed into the ground, through tabletop, into downward facing dog. Last one of class. Just finding our way here. We're going to tiptoe the hands back. Tiptoe, that makes sense. We're just going to walk the hands back towards the feet until we're in a forward fold. Bend in the knees and roll it all the way up to stand. There we go. Not that tall. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, so we're turning to face one another. Hands come onto hips. We'll let the right knee bend and wave open to the side. Not even wave open, just hinge open to the side like a cabinet door opening. We'll bring the heel over to the standing leg ankle. And maybe that foot drags up to the calf muscle. So we don't want it on the knee, it's just not good for the joint. Knees want to go forward and straight. They don't want to be pushed to the side. So instead we're bringing the foot to that calf muscle. Gastrocnemius. Alternately, you might be or want to play or be able to get the foot up to the inner thigh. Even so, we want the hips pressing forward and the knee pressing out to the side. So if you can bring your foot up to the thigh, but your knee starts moving forward, I can't even do it, okay. But your knee starts moving forward, then we just want to bring it back into place. That way, like if you were between two panes of glass, you'd be flat. So either positioning is just great. The hands can stay on the hips or come to heart center. Might even reach up towards the sky. And open up. So this is Vrikshasana, tree pose. So if you're falling out, if you've fallen out, just make your way back in. It's all good. A lot of the practice in balance is actually just setting up and beginning again. Breath here. And like pressing rewind. And bring that foot back down to the ground. Resist the urge to just shake out the left leg right away. It's all good. Sometimes we just do things automatically, and we just need to prove to ourselves that if we don't do it, it'll still be okay. So hands onto the hips, left knee opens out to the side, and that foot drags into the ankle. Alright, so often we fall into these ruts or habits or like tics where we don't even notice that we're doing it. Maybe the foot comes up to that calf, or even the inner thigh. The knees pressing out to the side. And it's an autopilot kind of thing. We're not doing it mindfully. Or we may be doing it obsessively. So when I was in high school, I was in therapy for obsessive compulsive disorder, for OCD, right? So basically it's a control thing where you're trying to control your environment and by doing these rituals. So they're like these little habits or tics that I would fall into, people fall into, to try to control the outcome of what happens next, even though it may not actually be causing the next thing. So that's not me telling you that if you want to shake your leg out after a balance pose, you have a diagnosis. I just say I think it's in the same part of your brain that says this then this means this. And I think it's important to prove to ourselves that that's not true. That your leg won't fall off if you don't shake it out after a balance pose, for example. You know? So, we got one more breath here, wherever the arms are, wherever the legs are. I'll let that leg come down. Nice. Okay, so we held it together. Good job if you resisted that, or at least were mindful that you were doing it. And now we're going to shake it out. Shake out the leg. We're going to shake out the body. We're going to shake out the whole body here as we enter our lymphatic shaking portion of practice. So what that looks like is just lifting and dropping the heels to create this shake, this reverberation in the body. You can lift and drop the shoulders. When we do our body scan in the beginning, or even if you weren't here for that part of class, you can, hello. You kind of know where you hold, hi, morning, resistance and tension in the body. Oh, we're all getting up now.
I'll go for a run.
Okay, have a good run. So you just want to let your, work into those spaces in particular. So I know my upper shoulders and my neck hold a lot of tension. So I just let my shoulders really kind of like exaggerate and get involved in this lymphatic shaking practice. So this whole time we've been breathing in and out through the nose. We're working towards that, but now audible sighs of breathing out through the mouth is totally encouraged and welcome. Any noises actually that you're looking forward to. A shaking partner. Hello, Pat. You have a bunch of people saying hi.
What's up?
Yes, we have a special guest today. So we just got like half a minute left of this shaking. You might be feeling like your body's warming up, and that's just great. If you feel like stopping, just keep it going for another 3, 2, 1. Woo, okay, just stop in stillness. Just take a moment, just notice. Feel that tingling in the fingertips. That heat. We'll go into our breath of joy. So this is a 4-part breath. And it goes like this. We take a sip of air in, like 30% of your lung capacity. In as the arms sweep forward. Sip of air in, arms sweep out, another like 33% of your lung capacity. And last sip of air in, arms sweep forward. And now you're all the way at 100%. There's no more space for more breath. A big ha, out through the mouth, arms throw back. So, you're just gonna, so when we go ha, out through the mouth, you just like yell as loud as you want. Like 2 decimals louder than you're comfortable is my recommendation. Keep a little bend in the knees, and we have about 10 rounds of this. So, in, ha, in, ha, in, ha, 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 ha. 3 left. If you haven't joined in yet, now's your chance. Ha, ha. Last one, make it count. Ha, ha. One hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. David Sports Guy, welcome in. This is your first time in the chat or in the stream. Pretty interesting time to hop on. Just finished Breath of Joy. So we have our feet shoulder width distance apart, hand on the belly, hand on the heart, eyes can close. We're just taking a moment to see what was created with that practice, lymphatic shaking and breath of joy. What was created? What showed up for you? Not right or wrong, not good or bad, just something to notice. We'll gently blink the eyes open. You might grab a sip of water or towel off any sweat. What kind of yoga do you do? So we do a mix of stuff here. So if you're already on the ground, I'll come meet you. We'll come meet you, and if not, you can come down with me. Just walk into the back of the mat. David, I'm about to answer you. I just want to bring us down to the ground first. Arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, knees bend deep, 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 so deep. Then we come down to seated. So, we do a mix of yoga. I mean, really, we're doing just like hatha yoga, like beginner, like all levels. I don't want to say beginner, but all levels. And but I'm trained in Kripalu yoga and vinyasa and yoga nidra. But I also taught Barkin hot yoga for years, and also kids yoga, and yeah, restorative and senior citizen yoga. So you know, I get around the yoga world quite a bit. But here, yeah, I like to mix in some like joint resiliency, some functional strength training, and really just whatever the community like asks in the beginning. I just work on integrating it. So, here we are in a bound angle pose, Baddha Konasana, with the feet touching and the knees splayed open to the sides. What came up was I came all this way to say I appreciate you. Aww, that's sweet. You do Ashtanga? Yeah, Ashtanga is awesome. That'll make you really strong. Okay, so you can grab onto your feet, ankles, or shins here. Get a nice tall spine. Deep breath in to get tall. And exhale, forward fold. I think that there's like a lot of value in like Ashtanga and just practices in general that have like sequences, like set sequences, because it's easy to see your progression or like where you're at in the moment. So here it's like you're bringing your chest towards your feet. Your arms can reach forward, draping over. But if you want to work into your hips more, you can keep that grip on the ankles and press the press the elbows into the knees, pressing them down towards the ground. So you're just using that leverage here. And once again, the goal is not to get the knees onto the ground. That's just the direction of the body. So don't get too hung up on that. There's never really a destination. It's about the actual act of doing it in the moment. So it's about the stretch that you're getting in the journey towards knees to the ground, right? So I've been practicing for 17 years. My knees don't touch the ground. I'm not hung up about it because the idea is just to get a nice stretch for my hips. How do you, yeah, I've been practicing for 17 years. So, yeah, more than half of my life. So I think what's interesting, like when we think about what shows up for us in that breath of joy, right? So in like yelling and breathing deep and all of that, it sometimes what can show up is like embarrassment or shame. And I think it's just really interesting because the rest of you guys are not on screen, right? Like, no one's watching you, so it's like, how are you embarrassed? Like, why am I embarrassed if, like, nobody's watching? And it's like, because we're watching, and, like, we are our biggest critics and, like, judgmenters? I don't know. What's it called? Basically what I'm trying to say is often we're the ones who judge ourselves the most critically, and that's like easy to say. It's like such a fortune cookie kind of saying, but in moments like that it can really show up as truth, like, oh, there's no one around but I'm too embarrassed to do this or to look silly. It's just interesting. So let's bring it back up to seated because your hips are probably super stretched out now. Bring the knees together. I've only been, 12 years is a long time. Good for you. 70 years. Wow, it's working. You look so young. Ha! Thanks, I'm not easy. 17. I have to enunciate. I probably mumble so much, you guys. You can call me out on it. Oh, that's my favorite pose. I don't have a favorite pose. Alright, let's bring it back. So just gently roll down, give your knees a hug. That's not, I don't know if that's true. Maybe dancer pose. I don't really like have like a favorite pose. It depends like how I'm feeling in the moment. Like I have like, I'm like, oh, like right now this is my favorite pose because I'm in it. I do really like balancing poses though. I think that they're fun and they're like really hard in the beginning and then they kind of stay hard in the middle. And then at the end you're like, oh, this isn't hard. It's just like gonna work or it's not. I don't know. I just think balance is really great. Alright, let's release your feet down to the mat, heels close into the hips, hands released down by the sides. And we'll do a little tuck to the hips and press the hips up towards the sky. Peeling the spine away from the ground, we'll tuck the shoulders under for Setu Bandhasana, our bridge pose. Squeezing the glutes, hips pressing up towards the sky, maybe the hands even interlaced below the back. Bring the arms in closer to one another. So I'm pressing the ground away with my fist, with my heels. I'm breathing fully. So you're breathing so deeply that if you were to look down past the bridge of your nose, you could see your belly lifting and falling with the breath. One more deep breath here. And then releasing the interlace of the hands, release the shoulders, upper, middle, and lower back touch back down to the ground. Then walking the feet out to the edges of the mat, we'll drop the knees side to side. And the next time the knees fall over to the right, we'll bring the right heel, the right ankle, and drop it on top of the left knee. Arms reach up overhead. Move move your Tibetan singing bowls right out of the way. You might even grab the left wrist, the right hand. I'm not actively pulling here or anything like that. Even just that grab can be a nice little passive stretch. Just breathing here, relaxing, especially into that outer left thigh. IT band, quad. I'm getting a nice little stretch. Bring the hands back down. Release the ankle from the knee. Knees come back up through center. Drop the knees over to the left. And place the left ankle on top of the right knee. Arms might reach up overhead. And this time it's the left hand grabbing the right wrist. Just breathing here, allowing the breath and gravity to do most of the work. Release the hands, release the ankle from the leg, and bring the knees back up through center. I like lotus pose. Cool, nice. Yeah, your hips must be really open for lotus pose. I sit in half lotus regularly, but full lotus is definitely like not a casual pose for me. So bring the knees in towards the chest, and we're going to release the knees over to the right, stacking left hip over right hip. Right hand can land on top of the left knee, and the left arm opens like the letter T. So I'm bringing this left shoulder down to the ground, maybe even looking over the left fingertips, giving the whole spine a twist. So Supta Matsyendrasana, supine spinal twist. And here really it's just about letting breath and gravity do the work. Sometimes it's the hardest part. One of the hardest poses or the most challenging poses can be the simplest ones because it's just about letting go. Bring the head back through center, knees through center, and gently release the knees over to the left. Left hand lands on top of right knee, and right arm opens like the letter T. The gaze can look over the extended right arm for supine spinal twist. It's okay if your knees don't touch or if they don't touch the ground. You're just looking for the twist in the spine. So Swami Kripalu, the guru of the lineage of yoga that I first got certified in, his teacher, when he went to study under him, this is like way before modern yoga, had him just sit in lotus pose and do nadi shodhana, so like alternate nostril breathing practice for like years. And obviously like sitting in that pose, in lotus pose for hours and hours on end a day is going to do a number on your body, and not necessarily in a positive way. So all the stretches and movements that he would do in between his meditation, his like ordained meditation practices, became the practice of Kripalu yoga, and he called it meditation in movement. So yeah, just one yoga pose and one pranayam, and he became Swami Kripalu. Alright, let's bring the head back through center and knees back through center. And the knees squeeze. And here you just want to notice, is there any last movement or wiggle or twist or pose or stretch that your body's asking for as we prepare for Shavasana, final relaxation pose? So all class, all day, we tell our body what to do, And now we just ask back, is there anything that it would like us to do to feel more fully satisfied with your practice here today? So often when we ask it, the body will answer but not in words. So we just kind of got to play around and to figure out what your body is asking of you. And then we'll find our way into Shavasana, final relaxation pose. Feet come down the length of the mat, legs come down the length of the mat, feet at least a foot apart, legs so relaxed that the feet naturally splay open to the sides, shoulders tuck under to support the chest, and arms release down by the sides. Palms face open to the sky, a symbol, a mudra of receptivity. Allow yourself to receive the full benefits of your effort here today. Head is nice and neutral, not looking up or down. Just looking straight towards the sky above. Eyes can close if that's comfortable. If not, a soft gaze is just fine. If you know laying on your back like this brings pain to your lower back or discomfort, just bend in your knees, bringing the feet to the far edges of the mat. Knees knocked together, lift and tuck the hips before gently placing them back down for broken bridge pose. So we're broken bridge or Shavasana corpse pose, or seated, of course, if you don't have access to the floor. We'll find our final meditation posture. Can you sit in lotus? Yeah, I can sit in lotus. I don't teach lotus pose in this class just because I think it's, well, I mean, we could start working towards it for sure. I mean, in a way we are, right? Like, we are always working towards it with all of our hip opening postures. So, Shavasana is all about integration, taking all the effort and work that we put into our yoga class, into our movement, into our earlier meditation, and integrating it into our muscle memory, into our mental and emotional memory wisdom channels, right? Start with 3 cleansing breaths. In through the nose, an audible sigh, out through the mouth. Just allow the breath to continue in and out through the nose if that's available to you. Returning the attention to the breath. Allow your exhalations to become longer and deeper than your inhalations. And every exhale sinks you heavier towards the ground. Invite space between top and bottom teeth. The jaw hangs heavy. Nose and nostrils relax. As air gently passes through like waves, lapping up to shore. Eyes rest heavy in their sockets. Eyelids just barely touching. The space between the eyebrows broadens as all the muscles in the forehead relax. Muscles surrounding the ears, the back of the head relax. Throat and neck release. Shoulders and shoulder blades melt away. Upper arms and elbows relax. Forearms and wrists rest. Palms, backs of the hands, knuckles, fingers, fingertips, whole hands alive with vibration, whole hands alive with creative potential. Rest and integrate all that you practice. Upper back, middle and lower back. Rest heavy. Chest and belly naturally rise and fall with the breath. Hips, glutes, pelvis, rest heavy, supported by the ground below. Thighs and knees melt away. Shins, calves, and ankles relax. Heels, soles of the feet, tops of the feet, and all of the toes relax. Whole body rests. Whole body rests. Whole body rests. Notice if in your body the places of tension have found space. The places of restlessness have found peace. Notice if in your breath there's ease. Allow for everything that did and did not happen in class today. And know that in yoga, practice makes practice. Allow your inhalations to deepen as fingers begin to wiggle and toes begin to curl. And that feeling of heaviness is replaced with the feeling of lightness and expansion as head gently rocks side to side. Every inhale bringing you towards the surface as arms reach up overhead for a full body stretch. Allow your knees to bend and roll over to whichever side feels natural, landing in a fetal position. You can use that bottom arm as a pillow. Fully released and fully supported by the ground below you. You might bring to mind your intention or take a moment to set one here. And if that intention inspires you, take it with you off the mat and into the world. Allow it to affect you and the people around you for the rest of your day. With eyes still closed or gently lowered, press your hands into the ground to come up to a seated position, just like how we started class. Hands come to meet at heart center in Anjali Mudra. Today we worked on head to toe, full body movement practice. And the first namaste is said silently to yourself, thanking your body for the effort it put into class. And the second namaste is said out loud to the community that held this space. Namaste. Thank you to everyone who joined me today. I hope you found something that serves you. Thank you. Hot yoga for the raid. Hello friends, welcome in. My name's Samala. I lead yoga and meditation here on Twitch every Sunday at 8:30 a.m. Pacific. All levels, everyone's welcome. You hopped in during Shavasana, so yes, I play some singing bowls for our final meditation together, like for Shavasana. Namaste, Swiss R and M9 Easy. Thanks for coming through, my friends. All right. Oh, tomorrow's Labor Day. Should we do a class tomorrow? So I've only been streaming on Sundays for the past, really since summer started, which has been working for me. And I hope it's been working for you. There's so many other great streamers on here too. And so many people went back to work, but tomorrow people might have off, so maybe I'll stream tomorrow morning. I don't know. Namaste, hey cool sword. David Sports Guy, namaste. Nice to meet you. What do you think? Tomorrow would be nice. Ravenfire, hello. Happy Sunday. Yeah, maybe we'll teach tomorrow. We'll stream same time, same place tomorrow. For Labor Day.
Hi, Yoga. How was your practice today? It was nice. You know, I didn't have anything particularly planned, and nobody hopped in to say like that they wanted like any body part to have specific attention. So it was just nice to do like a free form, go with the flow, head to toe kind of stretch. Like we literally got some neck stretching in, got some foot stretching in. So like head to toe, we got just like I think a well-rounded practice. You know, nothing too crazy. We had some challenging poses for sure, but hopefully it was well balanced for you guys. Hey, cool story. I'm off tomorrow, so I can show up. Cool, great. Let's do it. That's 2 votes. That's like sounds lovely. Yeah, it was. Great class. Thank you. You're welcome, Sammy Yoga. Awesome. I will. Let's see. Hi, Yoga. How was your class? Did you stream yoga today? I might join tomorrow. David Sports Guy. That would be awesome. I would love to have you. Yeah, it was a good energy today. Really can't complain ever. It's like sunny and beautiful here. Like I said, I'm grateful for you guys because we did yin yoga and mindfulness today. That sounds great. I usually don't get like a full like class in just for myself. So, you know, it's just nice to have what's it called? Some accountability and some community. I will see you tomorrow also. Awesome, M9 Easy. Yeah, I'm looking forward to you guys, to our practice tomorrow. I'm just feeling good right now about our practice today. And, yeah. Well, much love from me to you guys. Who's on right now? Let's see. Sets and Reps is on. We could raid him. He's gonna be like very, streaming is a great way to get a practice in. Yeah, it definitely is. Earlier in the year, I was streaming every day. I feel like you guys have seen lots of hairstyles from me, or lack thereof. And it was like such a great accountability. Like you guys, Twitch was literally my accountability buddy. But yeah, Simple Yoga is also live. Let's read Simple Yoga because I don't think I've met them yet. And I just think the vibe. Although, you guys should check out Sets and Reps. I don't know how to do the shout-out thing. But it's, like, pretty intense for a Sunday. It's like, got, like, serious bro vibes. But, like, I mean that in the most loving way. What tea did you get? I'm just drinking water today. I didn't even get up early enough to make tea. I'm not easy. So, like, I usually have tea to, like, sip with you guys at the end. I don't even boil water this morning. I woke up like an hour before stream too, but I don't know, it just catches up to me. It's so funny. So let's go see what Simple Yoga is all about and tell them I said hi. So why is jazz happening? Okay. Bye guys, much love. Oops. Dude, that's so sorry.
focus this week entirely on feet. Hey yoga! Hey! I just had a little glimpse into your yoga stream today, and I just saw in your chat that you were talking about reading. That's just a little glimpse I had. Yeah, and I was totally happy to see Harry Potter blinking up there.